I've got a pocket knife.
No, it's good time.
Good evening. I'd like to call this regular meeting of the Show City Council to order. By roll call, see that all council members are present. We'd like to welcome those of you who are with us tonight in council chambers. We're glad that you're happy and smiling. You know, a lot of times we get a packed house and they're not
Nobody
always have
smiles.
these great smiles and good looking, but thanks for being here. We appreciate it. Parents, thank you for what you do for our youth and our community as well. We'd like to welcome those who may be watching at home by some other means on City 56 or on the internet. This evening, we'd like to begin with the invocation. We've asked Councilmember Kelly if he'd lead us in a word of prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilwoman Kakavas. Those who'd like to join with us, if you'd please stand and remove your hat, we'd appreciate it.
Our Father in heaven, dear Lord, I thank you for the very privilege we have of gathering as we are and the freedom to conduct the business of the city in this open meeting. I thank you for all in attendance. I ask that you continue to bless us as you always have. Give us moisture we desperately need. I personally want to say thank you for your blessings in the fire last night as it was handled. And I understand without injury. I'm hoping that's correct. Anyway, I ask that you bless us as we conduct this business, that we do it in an honorable and pleasing manner to you. Ask that you be with our troops at home and abroad. Guide and direct, bring them back to us safe. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, I didn't echo.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, Councilmember Kelly, for that prayer, and Councilwoman Kakavas. This evening, we do have one change on the agenda. Item 6C, presentation of the semi-annual report by the Show Chamber of Commerce has been moved to, we'll do it with item 8A as well. So they're combined together since the chamber representative will be later on under new business. At this time, we have call to the public. Any citizen desiring to speak on a matter that's not on the scheduled agenda may do so at this time. Please address the council as a whole and know that your time is limited to 3 minutes. We've had a citizen, Dixie Shumway, who's filled out a slip. If there's anybody else who would like to fill out a slip and be recognized, they can at this time. So this time, Dixie, if you'll just come up and state your name and address for the record.
I'm Dixie Shumway, and I live at 941 North 22nd Avenue in Show. And believe it or not, I'm here for a thank you. I have been a thorn in your side for a couple of years about the city park, and it's amazing. My grandchildren love it. Thank you to the city of Show for this lovely park. If you've driven by, you know you're going to have to add to it because it's packed. The citizens are loving it, and thank you for that. The only thing we lack are a few places for old grandmas to sit that can't stand for 2 hours. But thank you. Hands to you. And hopefully the cheerleaders will give you a big cheer tonight. Thanks.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. It is a great addition to our city, and maybe we'll get a rocking chair out there. Who knows, Dixie?
I just want to make a comment on that. I went by there the other day because it's been so crowded, and I talked to some of the families that were over there, and they said the problem that they have is the waiting, which is a great problem to have because before everything was so bad, but it's nice to see the huge crowd. I know all of us have driven by there, but it's really nice to see over there.
It's great. Thank you. Any other comments, call to the public? Go ahead and state your name and
Okay.
address, please.
I apologize. This is my first time, so I did not fill out a blue slip. But Good evening. My name is Paige Richardson. I am a resident of Elk Ridge Apartments at 1901 West Yusuf Clubs. And I'm here in hopes of bringing continued attention to the unsightly, hazardous plague affecting the city of Show Low. When I first moved here in June from Chicago, I envisioned Show Low to be lined with neat sidewalks, yards full of pines and junipers, and ponderosa stands as far as the eye could stretch. Thus, it came as a genuine shock to find that not only my vision naive, but the sidewalks are even more littered than Chicago. Yards were vacant and collecting trash bags at a greater rate than my hometown, and ponderosa stands were matted with Walmart's plastic bags and throwback Miller Lite cans. Although I am fairly new to the mountain, my literally cluttered perspective has manifested into a perspective of disgust for a town full of complacent, unwilling citizens. At first listen, one may argue that the trash is due to all the wind, or that it would not be so bad if not for all the tourists. This to me is just an excuse, hence my decision to speak in front of the council tonight. Adopt-a-Highway programs are amazing, public recycling bins make it convenient to do the right thing, but even with existing efforts working to mitigate disastrous debris, the problem still riddles the city and no doubt will escalate if not taken more seriously with stricter fines, more intense policing, and outward awareness with inherent social consequences. Although the matter cannot be settled in my allotted 3 minutes and is not my intention, I do hope the council will appropriately consider bringing the topic back up for discussion on a scheduled agenda. And in the event this item slips to the wayside, please do think of me the next time you drive down Wolford, because I know that I'll be thinking of you all. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. We invite you out on the 28th to participate in Martin Luther King Day of Service, where we'll be doing a lot of that cleaning up along that way on that day too, as well as other citizens that are here tonight. We'll talk about it a little bit later, but thank you. Anyone else on call to the public? Seeing no other person move call to the public, I will close call to the public and come back to next item that we have on our agenda tonight is special events, presentation from the musical Music Man by the Show Low High School Music Department. We invite you to come up at this time and share what you'd like with us.
All right, so Show Low High School Fine Arts Music Department is presenting the Music Man. That'll take place April 25th through the 28th at Show Low High School Auditorium. And the shows are 7 p.m. each night, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, with a special additional matinee on Saturday the 28th at 1 p.m. The tickets are $5 for the students, $6 for senior citizens, and then $8 for adults. And the tickets can also be purchased online at showlowhighschool.eventbrite.com or at the door. And then come join us for this family-friendly show for all ages. It'll have lots of good selections for everyone. And then for questions, contact Cynthia Whipple at Show Low High School, 537-6200. And we'd all like you guys to come. We've been putting in a lot of work since January and February. So now we'll have a performance. It's one song from the show, Gary, Indiana. Jericho Crandall plays Marion, and then Jack Webb plays Winthrop. And I'll let them take it away.
Great.
Sister,
Winthrop, where have you been?
fishing
Fishing.
with Harold.
You mean Professor Hill?
And look, I still have some worms left.
Did you have a good time?
He told me all about his hometown, Gary, Indiana, and he said he'd take me there someday. And he taught me a song which has hardly any S's in it. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, let me say it once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, that's the town that knew me when. If you'd like to have a logical explanation how I happened on this elegant syncopation, I will say without a moment of hesitation, there is just one place that can light my faith. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, not Not Louisiana, Paris, France, New York, or Rome, but Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that, and just encourage our citizens to go out and support the Music Man musical there. It would be fantastic. Next item we have tonight is recognition of the winners of the Kids Rock Poster contest. We've been doing this for quite some time here with the third graders. We had several posters and things that we had. So as we invite each of the winners up, we're going to have the third place first, and second place and first place. And so our third place winner is Brady Sprung of Mrs. Beckner's class. And you can come on up. Congratulations. We're going to hang on to that poster if we can. You can collect it from the city here in a couple of weeks. We're going to put it up there. But go ahead and shake hands with all the council members here, okay?
Thank you. Good job.
Great. And we want to thank the poster, the basket was provided by the Shoal City Clerk's office. Appreciate that. Our second place winner is Ireland Connor, Mrs. Beckner's class.
Oh, the new city park even.
Congratulations. The theme this year was community pride.
Congratulations. Can you handle that, Beth?
And this basket was provided by the Family Aquatic Center, the Shoal Family Aquatic Center.
Good job.
New city park.
And the first place this year is Sawyer Step of Mrs. Beckner's class. Sawyer?
Good little time.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Go ahead and shake your hand. This is pretty heavy. I'll hold it for a minute.
I wouldn't trust him.
He'll keep it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, if we could have the other three winners come up, please.
Come and hold your picture.
The other two.
We need your picture back.
I'll take it back when you're finished.
Got it.
Let's see. I've got two pictures here to hold.
Here, Arlen, grab your picture, Arlen. Grab your picture and really, there you go. Here, Arlen, grab your picture there.
Okay, give 'em back.
Great.
Brent, were you smiling?
I was smiling.
Great.
I'll
Let's
take-
see your pictures.
I'll take your pictures. Thank you very much. Go find a nice place to hang them.
Great job.
Thank you. Well, that was for them.
Next item we have is consent calendar. Is there any items that need to be polled or discussed separately on the consent calendar?
What are those girls gonna do?
Okay, the items that we have tonight on the consent calendar is a proclamation for the support of education, Arizona education process efforts, the Unified School District. We have proclamation proclaiming the week of April 15th through the 21st of the Cougar Stunt Team Championship Week. We have a proclamation of the same week for the Cougar Cheerleading State Championship Week. We have the recognition of state champion wrestlers from Shoal High School. Consideration of amendment to an intergovernmental agreement with the Navajo County for Court Collections and Criminal Justice Service. We have a consideration of the acceptance of playground equipment purchase and installation by Exerplay. We have a consideration of approval of substitute assurance for Snow Creek Unit 2 and Phase 2, and the development and release of lots 116 to 120 and 122 to 152 from Trust 8676. We have the consideration of the second addendum to non-commercial ground lease, assigning the lease from Shoal Ford to David T. Williams and Craig A. Williams and Jim Hofflister, and a consideration of resolution R 2018-10, approving intergovernmental agreement with Navajo County, accepting Edward G. Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant Funds. And then we have the minutes of the study session of April 3rd, the regular meeting of April 3rd, and the study session of April 5th. Have a motion by Councilwoman Kukovic.
Let's recognize the people, okay.
Well, I just got to be able to read the
Okay,
proclamation
sorry.
and have them come up here.
Okay.
So we have a motion by Councilwoman Kukovic and second by Councilmember Alsop. All in favor? Any opposed? See that passed 7-0. This time we have 3 proclamations to go through. The first proclamation we have here tonight, we have, if we could have Jennifer Hernandez of Expect More Arizona and Evelyn Casaga from the Center of Future Arizona come up. And if you just stand at the podium while I read this proclamation here. Thank you. Whereas the Show Low City Council believes every child deserves an excellent education every step of the way, and joins the Show Low Unified School District in recognizing education must be a top priority in our community to ensure a strong economic future and higher quality of life for everyone. And whereas it is imperative to close the achievement gap that leaves so many children behind, to increase educational attainment overall and prepare a highly skilled workforce. And whereas Expect More Arizona and Center for the Future of Arizona statewide nonpartisan organizations have launched an Arizona Education Progress Meter by which the progress on attainment and other key education indicators can be measured. And whereas the Show Low City Council understands that future economy and workforce demands will require more than a high school diploma, and acknowledges only 42% of Arizona adults currently possess a degree, certificate, or industry credential. And whereas the Show Low City Council recognizes the need to improve educational attainment across the state and in our local community, and supports the statewide attainment goal of 60% by 2030. Now therefore, I, Darrell Seymour, Mayor, on behalf of the Show Low City Council, do hereby proclaim the Show Low City Council supports the statewide attainment goal of 60% by 2030, supports the use of an Arizona Educational Progress Meter as a tool to make progress towards the attainment goal by tracking the priority indicators for our local community, and supports the efforts of the Show Low Unified School District to advance this shared vision for education. Dated the 17th day of April, 2018. I have sent myself. So if you come forward and receive this proclamation, we appreciate it. I know you have some comments, and we'll turn the time to you here in a minute to share your comments. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Knocked out of my chair. Oh, good job. Dealing on the horn.
It is a STEM team different than, do we have a STEM team in the cheerleaders?
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, members of the staff, and this audience in particular tonight. My name is Evelyn Kasuga with the Center for the Future of Arizona, and thank you for your action tonight. What you demonstrated before we got up here is what this is all about. It is understanding that local government, education, the business community need to come together to support our students, whether they're third graders or whether they're retraining adults, to make sure that they are prepared for the jobs of the future. So thank you for your action tonight. I know we only have a few seconds. So on behalf of the Center for the Future of Arizona, and I'll let Jennifer talk about from her perspective, we want to let you know you are joining almost 40 cities, towns, and counties in the state of Arizona who are doing exactly what you're doing, because it takes all of us to make sure our children have the opportunities for the future. So Jennifer.
Thank you, Mayor and council members and public here. It really was just so heartwarming to see the talent that you have in this community. And certainly we have these types of shining examples of our students and our future across the state. And so we very much appreciate the opportunity that you gave us to speak tonight, and this beautiful proclamation. It's beautiful. Henry Ford once said that coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success. And with the Arizona Education Progress Meter, we now have the opportunity to unite people around this shared vision for education, and a tool that gives us a consistent way to measure our progress and celebrate successes together. And as Evelyn mentioned, we have communities all over our beautiful state that have officially adopted the Education Progress Meter, and we are so excited and pleased to add the City of Show Low to that list. And thank you so much for your proclamation and for your commitment that you have to your students here in Show Low and to the children here in this community. It was great to see that. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it, what you do. Tonight is a night of success and achievement by our youth. We applaud you for what you are doing, each of you. We have a proclamation I'm going to read here of the high school stunt varsity team and then also the cheerleading. So we could just have the stunt team just come up and stand right here this time. I know many of you are, Bobby, on both teams here. But just stand right in front of the podium here, face us, okay? I know your parents would like you to face them, but the cameras face this right here, and we'll let you turn around for a picture here in a minute. Whereas on Saturday, March 3rd, 2018, at Gilbert High School in Gilbert, Arizona, the Show Low High School varsity stunt team won the AIA Spirit Line State Stunt Team Championship. And whereas the City of Show Low recognizes excellence and dedication by the cheerleaders, their parents, the coaching staff, the administration, the student body, and the community. And whereas the City of Show Low recognizes outstanding sportsmanship by the cheerleaders, their fans, and their coaches. And whereas the City of Show Low recognizes the desire, sportsmanship by the cheerleaders, their fans, and their coaches. And whereas the City of Show Low recognizes the desire, determination, and discipline of each stunt team member and the team's collective determination. Now therefore, I, Darrell Seymour, Mayor, on behalf of the Show Low City Council, do hereby proclaim April 15th through the 21st, 2018 as Cougar Stunt Team State Championship Week in the City of Show Low, and urge all citizens in the community to acknowledge this tremendous achievement dated the 17th day of April. Congratulations, girls. Appreciate it. You just turn around here now in the middle and shake everybody's hand, then come back and turn around and your parents can get a picture here, okay? Great.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Way to go. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Excellent job.
It's right here this time.
Thank you for the hard work. We did.
Don't blame me. Yeah? Don't blame me.
Want to say something for the video?
You go.
Video news?
Hey, cheese.
Thank you.
Let's give one more round of applause. Thank you. We could have the Show Low High School varsity cheerleading team come up. Now, do we have some type of a cheer you're going to do for us or anything here?
I think they should have to earn it.
All right. Okay. Whereas on Saturday, March 3rd, 2018, at the Arizona Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Phoenix, Arizona, the Show Low High School varsity cheerleading team won its 5th state championship. And whereas the City of Show Low recognizes excellence and dedication by the cheerleaders, their parents, the coaching staff, the administration, the student body, and the community. And whereas the City of Show Low recognizes outstanding sportsmanship by the cheerleaders, their fans, and their coaches. And whereas the City of Show Low recognizes the desire, determination, and discipline of each cheerleader and the team's collective determination. Now therefore, I, Darrell Seymour, Mayor, on behalf of the Show Low City Council, do hereby proclaim April 15th through the 21st, 2018 as Cougar Cheerleading State Championship Week in the City of Show Low, and urge all citizens in the community to acknowledge this tremendous achievement dated the 17th day of April, 2018. This time, if we could have their coaches come up, Rachel Lalivier and Geraldine Walker and Gabe Moya and Deanne Cunningham as well. Congratulations, young women. Appreciate it. Now, we have some awards that we would like to give you. If you Coaches, if you come up and get this and let's get a picture. As we call off your names, if you come up, and we have a T-shirt here for you. Teresa Walgurski, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Destiny Stem,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Hope Lutans. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job.
Chelsea Danes,
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Katie Glennie.
Go.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We have Kale Bell, Kaylee, or is it Kaylee?
For two.
Kaylee, I'm sorry, Kaylee. Congratulations. Marley Benny, she's not able to be here tonight.
Congratulations.
We also have Gracie Williams.
Good job.
You guys be thinking about that chair. I've got to have it, okay? Emma Clark.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Kylie Daly.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Congratulations. Good job.
Dylan also Brooke, or is it Dylan? Dylan? Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Melissa McNeil.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you for your work.
Way to go.
Juliet Marino. She's not,
Congratulations.
she here tonight?
Thank you.
Make it there.
Thank you.
Morgan Edwards. Natalie Webb.
Who's here?
Audrey Whipple.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Rachel Barbie.
Congratulations.
Then we have coaches. Coach Rachel. Congratulations.
Pronounce that last name again.
I don't want to. Lalida yet.
Pretty good.
Carolyn Walker.
I get her.
Gabe Moya.
You.
Way to go.
And Deanne Cunningham.
Good job.
Gabe's.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job. Good job.
Good job. Congratulations.
Let's give these coaches and young women one more applause here. Parents, if you want to come up and take some pictures. All right, cheerleaders, spirit line, let's hear
Put
it.
it up there.
Rally.
Rally.
Hey, what about someone up here?
We are Brad Beach, Shola, Brickman Marzi, St. James, yeah!
Thank you.
Now, they say.
Many times we're able to be part of a team, and a lot of times we're bigger than ourselves of being part of a team. But we want to also recognize a couple of wrestlers who have been able to achieve some things this year that were state champions on the individual basis. And so two of our Shola High School wrestlers won a state title in their respective weight divisions at this year's Arizona Interscholastic Division III Wrestling Championships on February 10th. The city's proud to recognize these two champions for their accomplishment. Last year, senior Weston Keem was the runner-up at 170 pounds at a record of 43-7. This year, Weston qualified for his third state tournament and beat a Safford High School wrestler in the state championship title bout. He deserved to win an 8-6 decision for his first state title, finishing the season with a 52-3 record. High school senior Jackson Allen joins only 30 other wrestlers in state history to win state championships all 4 years of high school. In each of his state title bouts, Jackson trailed his opponents before coming from behind to win. He dedicated his final win to his father and finished his senior season with the 49-1 record. The only person that could beat him was his dad. No, not there. So if those two would come forward, if they're still here, Weston and Jackson.
Jackson's mom's here, so you can come up.
His mother, if you'd like to come up. It's a pretty tough class too, weight class 170. That's awesome. Congratulations. Great.
Congratulations. Good job.
Congratulations.
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 Way to go.
Give him a congratulations. Thank you, Forrest. Appreciate it.
Congratulations, man.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, tell him thank you.
Good job.
Oh, you and that camera phone. Don't know where to duck.
Thank these wrestlers. Thank you so much.
Is that phone almost dead? Good.
Okay, the next item we have is our item 6C. We'll go back to that item here. We'll turn the time over to Mr. Applegate for Chamber of Commerce report.
Mayor, council, I'm not going to do a cheer. I can't wrestle.
Thank you.
That was a long, long time ago. And I probably couldn't color a picture for you, but it was so good to be here for all those good reports and the great achievements of our youth. That was fun to be part of, so thanks for letting me do that. Thank you for letting me report to you today. You have in front of you 4 or 5 pages of my quarterly reports. I'll go through those briefly with you. The ones you really want to see are the next ones, but the first one is your TSA information just for the quarter. Breaks you up by January, February, and March and gives you a total quarter. We break that up by visitors that come in locally, visitors that come in throughout the state, and then out of state, and then foreign countries. And then you can see your total count for the quarter is 674 visitors have visited the Chamber of Commerce in the first quarter of the year. The next part down is monthly website statistics. You'll see those are up when we compare the 18 against 17 first quarter, but sessions, users, page views, pages versus sessions, and then your average session duration is a time, how many people or how long they actually stayed on that page. They're good numbers though, 4,800 session views in the quarter, 16,000 page views. Real good numbers for our new page. This is our second year of our new website page. Councilman Leach, you got a question?
I don't have, where's this report at? Do we?
Right here.
Oh, it's in the book?
Oh, they put it in the book for you?
I don't know. No, I don't have it anywhere else, but I know it's not in here.
Green. Last year's was blue, this year's is green.
I don't have it.
On the screen.
Oh, is it on your screen?
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't left out, so none of us.
No,
have it.
it's still loading over there. The next page after that is a comparison for 2018 and 2017. Of course, we just have 2018 first quarter, but you can see your numbers over last year and get a count of first quarter last year, 720, first quarter this year to 674, not too far off for your total visitor counts as you compare. You're looking at your social media engagements at the bottom, and our numbers are really soaring. I want you to know on that, there's not very many businesses in the local area that rival the Show Low Chamber's social media page. It's not my fault.
Remember.
I commissioned that out locally, and
He sent it, it was sent out by Tamara earlier in the day in a report in the iPad.
oh,
Okay.
We've got
you got.
We're good. Sorry.
Thank you, Councilwoman, I appreciate that. Okay, so that's your comparison. The next page has the pie chart on it. That pie chart is the one that you look at to get an idea of where these visitors are coming from. 37% of the visitors in the first quarter came from within the state of Arizona. 18% are local visitors. 7% only foreign, and 38% are out of state. The foreign 7%, believe it or not, are mostly Canada. I don't know why, but we get so many visitors that we talk to when they come in who are from Canada. They come in droves. It's funny, but there's your numbers. You'll see the bar chart at the bottom grow as the year goes, of course, and so that's just to kind of give you an idea of month by month as it is. Your last page of that report is budget versus actual for our numbers, our financial numbers for the quarter. We're doing fine. Everything looks good. Our total income is off by a little bit from budget versus our actual, and then our expenses are under our budgeted, so we're doing pretty good. Numbers tiny there just because it's just TIC portion of what it is for the first quarter, but looking good. Everything's looking good. I reserved a couple of comments that I put on the TIC page because I wanted to talk about them. And you have one of them in front of you. It's this right here, which is our brand new directory. Earlier this year, we released this. February was our annual meeting. We did a completely new, different and new annual meeting this year and played a trivia game, but during that annual meeting, we released this new directory. And I wanted to talk to you about it because I want to tell you, and I'm confident when I say this, it's probably one of the smartest things that the Show Low Chamber of Commerce has done in a very long, long time. It's just got really good benefits, and I just want to name a couple of them for you. First of all, distribution. Our distribution for this directory went from $10,000 a year in printing to over $50,000 a year in printing. Mind you, when I go through these, none of these benefits impact our members financially at all. These are standard benefits that go to every single member. It's just an addition that they receive for being a member of the Chamber of Commerce. So the distribution of this goes from $10,000 to $50,000, but the real key is in how it's distributed. Previous distribution of a directory, and it still happens across the White Mountains in most chambers of commerce, now I'm going to say it differently, in all chambers of commerce except for in the Show Low Chamber, is that a directory is distributed as people come in and visit, and they're handed out, and then it's also distributed as the chambers go to local events and do activities and events. They'll hand out their membership guide or directory to those events. This directory is now shipped out in the mail, in the local newspaper 4 times a quarter, or 4 times a year, each quarter. And so now this distribution of 50,000 that used to be 10,000 is shipped right here locally. Now, why is that significant? It's really important to understand why that's important. The normal directory, now, and you'll forgive me, I'm going to give you a couple examples and let me stretch it a little bit or go with me on this. The normal person that comes visiting in from out of state or even from in-state, they're down in Tucson or down in Phoenix, and they show up and they get a chamber directory. 90% of the time, usually they just don't go, hey, you know what, honey, while we're here, let's go over to Hatch Toyota and buy a new car. They don't do that, right? They're going to buy their car in their town. So that directory doesn't help most of our dealerships. Usually what they don't do as well is they don't go, hey, while we're here, let's get a quote for some new insurance. They probably don't do that either, so it doesn't help an insurance dealer. What I'm saying is for businesses that are members of the Chamber of Commerce that do business with patrons that are locally, a directory doesn't usually do them a lot of good because it's not distributed to the people who they want to do business with. This directory now does that. 4 times a year, it goes right to the doors and doorsteps and houses of people that have that subscription in the White Mountain Independent, in addition to the already normal distribution that our Show Low Chamber of Commerce already does. So that is a very important thing. The other thing that I wanted to mention is, of course, not only is it a great benefit, but it's sold locally now, it's printed locally, it's distributed locally, all by folks who live and eat dinner here and sleep in this town or in our surrounding area. It wasn't done like that before, and most of your other membership guides or directories are not done that locally. And so we're really, really proud of this membership directory. We hope that people will embrace it. I left a pile of it up there, and our crowd's gone. So anyway, there's some up there as well. And I'll leave some with you. I spoke with Mr. North at the city the other day. There's a place at the city where people come and get publications as well, and so we'll include our directory with the city as well now, because we're proud of it, so we want it out there. Mayor, I'll keep going. I wanted to talk about Show Low Days and Derby Down the Deuce, but I'll pause in case anybody has any questions about my normal report or this directory.
Any comments or questions concerning this item 6C? No?
Show Low Days and Derby Down the Deuce is right around the corner. We're excited about that. We want to let you know this is our 15th year of Show Low Days here. We've expanded it to the upper field of the park, the Frontier Field, as it's called. In doing that, we're adding the Business Expo that we attempted several years back into the mix, and we're giving away as a benefit to members of the Chamber of Commerce a free booth within that Business Expo. So we'll have a kids zone up there, we'll have fun activities up there. Of course, you remember the Wiener Dog Race, that's up there as well, and a Business Expo, and then all the fun stuff that we do normally on Sholo days. And of course, the Derby down to Deuce. Mayor, it's been 7 years since you had that idea of the Derby. I can't believe we've been doing this 7 years now, but 7 years of the Derby down the Deuce. This year, the biggest news really that you want to know about is because some events that happened last year, we were able to double the first place prize winning for the speed car. So this year's first place speed car will take home $5,000 cash. So Congressman Alsop, you want to modify your car a little bit because
Congressman.
Councilman, did I say Congressman? Sorry, Councilman Alsop.
I paid him a lot.
Councilman has had a car in the Derby many
Budget
years.
just
We
went up, I
appreciate
think,
that,
for the-
but it's not fast enough to take first place, so he's got to modify it. Anyway, we're excited about the changes that we got with the Derby and with Sholo Days, and so that's with that. If there's any questions, I'd love to answer them, but
Questions?
thank you for your support, City.
All right, well, thanks so much for what you do here with the council and for the chamber, association with the city and getting events and things happening in our community. Appreciate
bet.
that. Next item we have then is new business. We have item 8A, consideration of applications submitted by James Applegate on behalf of the Sholo Chamber of Commerce for a special event liquor license for Sholo Days on June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd at the Sholo City Park. Ms. Kurosaki.
Thank you, Mayor. As Mr. Applegate said, this is the 15th annual Sholo Days. It will be held at City Park, June 1, 2, and 3. You'll notice from the map that the beer zone is going to be on the senior field, and the alcohol will be confined there. The field is surrounded by an existing 6-foot fence, and there will be between 2 and 6 Arizona Rangers, not only at the one gate that participants will use to enter and leave the premises, but they will also be providing continuous security around the field. The other gates at the senior field will be locked, so that ensures no alcohol will either leave or enter the premises. And as Mr. Applegate said, the children's portion will be held on the Ponderosa field, which is north of the senior field. They're going to have a kids zone, kids activities, the business expo, and other programs he mentioned. We did have the police department conduct a background check and found that there were no problems. They were not opposed to the application, and we also asked if there were any issues last year related to alcohol, and they said no. We will submit the application to the Department of Liquor Licenses and Control, but please know that whatever decision you make tonight is final.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? We'll look for a motion. Councilmember Alsop.
I move to accept the application submitted by James Applegate for a special event liquor license for an annual Sholo Days on June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd at the Sholo City Park.
Have a motion. Is there a second? Second by Councilmember Crittenden. Any other discussion? Call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? See that passed 6-1. Thank you.
Thank you, Council.
Appreciate it. Next item we have is item 8B. The consideration of applications submitted by Galen Dwayne Hughes on behalf of White Mountain Bay Submarine Veterans for a special event liquor license for 2018 Cruise in the Rim Show on June 2nd at Frontier Field. Ms. Kurosaki.
Thank you, Mayor. Excuse me. Mr. Hughes, who represents the White Mountain Base Submarine Veterans, submitted an application for a special event liquor license, and this is a companion event. It's the Cruise in the Rim Car Show, it's a companion event to Sholo Days, and this year it's going to be held at Frontier Fields, excuse me, it has been at Frontier Fields, and it's scheduled for June 2nd. The license for the submarine veterans will allow them to sell alcohol during the event. There's an existing 6-foot chain link fence surrounding Frontier Fields where the alcohol will be sold and consumed. There's 2 entrance and exit gates. They'll be open for the participants to enter and leave the premises, and they will be manned by personnel from the submarine veterans to ensure no alcohol is brought in or leaves the premises. They will have additional veterans who will patrol the grounds to make sure that there is no underage consumption on the field. Again, we had the police department perform a background check, found nothing that would preclude approval of this application. We will forward this application to the Department of Liquor, but again, this decision by the council is final. Mr. Hughes is here if you have questions of the applicant.
Thank you. Councilmember Crittenden?
I move to approve the application submitted by Galen Dwayne Hughes for a special event liquor license for the 2018 Cruise in the Rim Car Show on June 2nd at Frontiers Field, Show Low, Arizona.
Thank you. We have a motion. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilmember Leach. Any discussion? Call for the vote. All those in favor? Any opposed? See that pass 6-1. Thank you very much. This time we have summary of current events. I look to council members for any current event they wish to talk about at this time. Councilmember Alsop.
Thank you, Mayor. Attended a Main Street board meeting this last week. All the spaces for the 2018 season for the Farmers Market and Art Walk are all sold out. That is way early compared to what it has been. So hopefully we're going to have a great event there that opens up in May and ends in September. And so there should be, I believe there's 96 spaces there. So it's going to be a lot of different things to choose from. So hopefully everybody's going to enjoy it this year. Also, Main Street has all the signs, poles set up for the Wayfinder signs that's going to be putting up throughout the city. I believe there's 15 or plus more of them. If you'd like to have your name on one of the Wayfinder signs so they know where your business is at, please give Steve North a call at City Hall and he'll be able to get you to the right person to fill out some paperwork. It's a small fee for that, but they're really nice signs. And like we heard earlier today, I was at the Little League Open season on April 6th, and I believe there was more ball players. There wasn't as many ball players on the field as there was kids on those playgrounds. So I definitely want to thank everybody that's done that. Special thanks to Mikey and Mike and Phil for their hard work, and there's other employees that had their names in it too, but I just know those are the three top people that were working on it. So special thanks to our staff and everything else for doing that. It has definitely lightened up the park, and like Councilman Leach said, it's good to have people stand in line to play on the equipment because it's really a nice atmosphere that we've made up there. So thank you for everything that we've done on that, and thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Any other reports? Councilmember Leach.
Just a quick reminder, the sixth annual Sholo Barbecue Throwdown is coming up on May 5th. I think today I got a report. I'm probably going to get it wrong. 44 teams are registered as of today, and I know I've had a few phone calls the last couple of days. So we're probably going to hit our 50 mark. Free kid zone, open to the public. It's at Frontier Field. Come out and see some of the best barbecue teams all over the country. There's one in particular that's coming up, and he's from Iowa. He hasn't been here yet, but his name's Kelly Wirtz, and he finished like number 4 in the nation last year. His barbecue name is Four Legs Up, and his logo is a cow upside down, 4 legs up. So I'm pretty excited he's coming. I've competed against him in the past, and it's just exciting he's coming through and decided to stop off and do our contest. So come on out. It's free to the public.
Oh, that's awesome. Appreciate what you've done in support of having a great event here to, commemorate our birthday and the city of Sholo. I think it's great event here. And remember, this year it's going to be at the Frontier Field, so that will be a great new place down there. So it'll be great. Any other reports by council members? Just want to share a few things here. High winds, low humidity, and dry conditions in our area greatly increase the risk of wildfire. And we urge everyone to be extra cautious and prepare for emergencies. In the next utility bill, we're distributing a couple of flyers. This Ready, Set, Go flyer will be distributed on the May 1st utility bill. And one explaining Navajo County's Ready, Set program, as well as information about the annual Project Clean Sweep program that we do. We urge you to read both flyers and protect yourselves and your property. Last night we had a pretty serious fire that started at Lakeside Pine Top, and had it been just a little bit different situation or wind in a different direction, it could have moved worse than what it was. And so we are in extremely dry conditions, and be prepared that whenever you see red flag, that's an automatic warning that there's no fires to be going on at that time. And it won't be too long, if we don't have any moisture soon, that we'll be looking into other measures of fire restrictions that will be coming out. Our annual Martin Luther King Day of Service with volunteers working on a community project is next Saturday, April 28th. We'll meet at 9 a.m. at the old pavilion at City Park for assignments. Please wear closed-toe shoes and bring gloves, hats, wheelbarrows, rakes, shovels. We'll be doing quite a bit of painting around, doing different areas. We'll divide up into different teams, and we'll do some cleanup of some streets, as well as some raking and yards. So bring rakes, shovels, wheelbarrows, those type of things. If you want to also go in and just sign up at justserve.org, that will help us get a head count. Lunch will be provided for no charge at 12 o'clock at the old pavilion. So we just encourage all of our citizens to come out. It's a great opportunity. We moved it to April because it's going to be really warm on Saturday, April 28th. And, you know, I'm guaranteeing a good sunny day. So let's have a great time and do some work, okay, on there. So make it happen. That's my report, and I appreciate you guys filling in for me while I was gone last time we met. And, you know, I almost missed you, so the meeting, so the meeting part of it. So, but I missed you guys, but I appreciate you. Thank you. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. A few things to report. Tomorrow at Lacono's, we have Tip-a-Cop. That's a support for the local Special Olympics, and you'll be able to, that'll be held from 4:30 to 8:30 p.m., and the police personnel will be waiting on you. And thanks to the generosity of Lacono's, 100% of all the tips will go toward the cause of Special Olympics. The recreation staff is accepting registration for Kids Night Out this Friday for ages 5 to 11, 6 to 9 p.m. for $10 each. There's a community yard sale on Saturday, April 28th, 8 a.m. to noon at Frontier Park for $10 a booth. And the NFL Youth Flag Football for boys and girls in grades 1 through 6, $50 a player. And then there's a co-ed grass volleyball league that they're accepting applications for ages 15 plus. Summit Healthcare's contractor will begin a deceleration lane into the new expansion project on White Mountain Road next Monday, April 23rd. The outside lane northbound on 260 may be partially closed periodically until the month-long project's completed. The library is hosting a mystery experience for adults 18 years and older next Friday, April 27th, 10 to 11 a.m. or 6 to 7 p.m. to collaborate and solve fictional crime spree. The Arizona Department of Transportation has issued a tentative 5-year transportation plan and is asking for public feedback until 5 p.m. on June 5th. We urge citizens to send comments to ADOT in support of 5 state highway projects in our region. Without public support, the projects may be moved to later dates. We've seen that in the past, or they may be canceled completely. There are 3 projects in the plan in the Show Low area that would benefit Show Low. And there's 2 new requests that we're putting in there. One to reconstruct the intersection of Show Low Lake Road and Cub Lake Road at 260, and another to widen sections of State Route 260 between Heber and Show Low. There's more information and step-by-step instructions on how to provide comments that are available on our website at showlowaz.gov. But we urge all citizens, council, to look at that and provide comments to ADOT. I think it's very important that they receive a lot of the comments to support our projects up in this area. And that's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Any other comments? Or just scheduling meetings, just to remind you that this Thursday we have our Mayor's Council and Associations of Navajo County that will be held here at Show Low at the Public Safety Building, as well as we have a budget study session that evening at 6 p.m. And if all goes well, we'll be able to hopefully wrap up most of our budget study that night.
No, we will.
So,
10 o'clock if we have to.
any other business that needs to come before council tonight? Seeing no other business, I'll close this meeting. Thank you.